Hey, this is Charles D'Amico with Blue Handle Publishing and the Book Puma Services Platform. Today we are talking about book marketing and book covers, or book design or cover design. Now, why is this important? Well, people do judge a book by its cover. They may not judge the content by its cover, but you got to have a good cover and good marketing for them to pick the thing up in the first place. Unless you have the ability to just randomly drop the book on everyone's table, 400,000 copies somewhere, it's going to be kind of hard to get people's attention. And that starts with a great cover, a great synopsis, and some great marketing. So what are your basic tools you're going to start with? Well, there are plenty of free or affordable services for do-it-yourself book covers. Though I highly suggest you work with one of the gig people out there on whether it's Fiverr or Upwork or Reedsy. There's some people who've spent their whole life designing, looking at book covers, knowing what works, and they can show you things that they've done, right? So they can show you copies of books they've done. Look at the title, see how it does. If somebody's like, these are the 9 books I've worked on, and they're all stinkers, you might want to find somebody else. But again, take your time. This is your book. Hopefully that book only has one cover until you write another one. Take some time, do some research, and try to give the book designer you work with as much details as you can. Even if it doesn't look right, if you pull like different pictures. One of my books that's not out yet, La Chazée, which is Marie Perdita suspense. It takes place in Europe. We took a picture, a landscape from Prague. We took a sky, technically, from like Antarctica. We took all these different things. We merged them into one. We changed the color scheme. But that's where we started. We had to come with things that the story maybe felt like what I wanted to invoke emotion. That's kind of what it takes, is it takes you looking at different things and bringing it together. You can't just be like, oh, it's a romance novel, so I want some people on it. Well, that doesn't tell the story. That doesn't get someone's attention. You really have to put almost as much energy and effort in your cover as you do the book. And if you're struggling with it, there's plenty of people out there that can help you with it, ourselves included. We can point you in the right direction or even help you brainstorm. Now, book marketing. This is where I think Amazon and a couple other companies really stand out, is they've got great analytics and great tools for you to use. Now, it's easy to go down a rabbit hole, spend way too much money, and not accomplish anything, especially with Amazon AdWords. But there's a ton of different services out there where you can have how-to videos. We're working on some of our own. They're a little bit more colorful in language, but we're going to get you there. And then they also point you in the right direction of, hey, if someone's looking for the next James Patterson novel, because you might be a thriller writer like me, that you want them to see your book advertised. That's kind of how it works. Now, you pay per click, and there's a lot of different details that go into it, but that's the basics of Amazon's advertising. Ingram Spark, which is one of the main platforms you're going to use if you're self-published, or even your hybrid publisher is going to use. You might hear some of these hybrid publishers be like, we've got a great relationship with Ingram Spark. You can too for a login. And what that does is they can get you in library magazines. They can get you into industry publications where bookstores might order their books from. Makes it easier if you try to upsell to your local bookstore that you want your book there. Bring them the first 2 or 3 copies, but Ingram Spark will give them a place for them to grab it. So there's a couple things you want to pay attention to when it comes to marketing that book. Is what does your cover look like and what are the files? If you're working with somebody who's like a gig worker, you want to make sure they give you the source file and not just a PDF. What is a source file? Most commonly it's a .eps or .ai. What that means is instead of like .pdf or .doc for Word, is it's related to the program that they built it in. But it makes it more user-friendly for anybody you ever work with to airbrush it into something for a marketing picture or to use it in Ingram Spark or Amazon or any other drafted digital format. A lot of them will just want like picture format, PNG, JPEG, or they might want a PDF, but having that source file makes all the difference in the world. So make sure if you use a gig worker, you get the source file. If you're writing this down or rewinding it, go source file. You want the source file. It's going to be key for your marketing moving forward. And then social media. Building your own social media page takes a lot of work, but it helps. Doing giveaways, working with bookstagrammers. Try to find smaller ones if you're new and you don't have a following, because then you're in it together. They find a new author they get to work with, and you get to grow one-on-one and try to make an impact in both your book and their life. So when you're looking at book marketing or book design and your covers, take your time, do your research, like we always say, or reach out to us. We got your back with the Book Puma Services platform. This is Charles D'Amico with Blue Handle Publishing. Have a great day.